This video presents declassified and licensed material of the Global Institute of Logic and Cybernetics.
This visualization shows the terminal decoherence of current state architectures. Modern governance relies on probabilistic AI, systems that guess outcomes based on statistical weights, and paper-based epistemology, where knowledge is stored in mutable, subjective documents. Under recursive stress, these systems collapse. The symptoms of this structural failure are highly visible: epistemic fragmentation, where truth is no longer verifiable, identity instability, and a total vulnerability to adversarial recursion, where malicious actors exploit overlapping logical contradictions. This animated diagram illustrates the strict mathematical correction offered by the Global Institute of Logic and Cybernetics, or GILC. Governance is not a social construct. Governance is a physical phenomenon, subject to the exact laws of energy and structure. When we replace mutable law with rigid geometric invariant structures, the system stabilizes. This architectonic grid mathematically binds abstract policy into a permanent contradiction-free lattice. Upgrading the civilizational substrate requires establishing sovereign coherence. This is the right of a society to operate on verified knowledge that does not erode under computational scale. Defending national sovereignty against hybrid collapse means abandoning abstract data management. We must anchor our institutions to inescapable physical laws. Realica theory reveals the vacuum is a structured, resonant manifold. This lattice vibrates at exactly 114.11 terahertz. Overlaying this is the Kp field, where F sub Kp equals E times S. Thermodynamic energy and semantic meaning are physically coupled. Watch the gold energy and blue semantic pathways intertwine. State actions or AI commands can only compute if they align with the natural resonance of the Kp field. We quantify this with a coherence threshold, theta. As the gold and blue pathways approach this geometric gate, their resonance is measured. Any command that fails to meet this threshold is physically blocked from executing. It simply cannot propagate through the field. Because meaning and causality are physically inseparable in the universum architecture, irrational or destructive governance becomes structurally impossible. The laws of physics prohibit the computation. This physical framework is backed by published formal mathematics, including proofs that resolve Millennium Prize problems. The central mathematical engine driving the GILC architecture is Pasev's Infinite Digital Structure Theorem, or IDST. This proof defines exactly how recursive structures remain stable. IDST's core parameters merge here. On the left, knot-theoretic encoding creates tamper-proof scroll DNA. On the right, Zeta regularization assigns finite values to divergent series, intersecting the 3/2 axis. Together, they form the central locking equation, defining the digital fabrica. This master equation mathematically guarantees a unique maximal structure. It is ordinally bounded, meaning it has strict limits on its computational depth, rendering it entirely immune to internal contradiction. By incorporating fractal scaling at a Hausdorff dimension of 1.5, this protected structure can expand infinitely without ever degrading its performance or coherence. IDST provides the irrefutable mathematical proof that a civilizational system can scale indefinitely without drifting into systemic collapse. This schematic details the real-world instantiation of these theorems, the native GILC node. It is a combined hardware and software complex designed for state-level integration. The node officially replaces mutable legacy databases with scrolls. A scroll is the new atomic unit of verified tamper-proof logic, cryptographically sealed to prevent unauthorized alteration. Every scroll must be processed through the quantum kernel Cascade, a 7-stage evaluation sequence validating the data's physical and logical integrity. Within this cascade is the Zeta pi theta ethics kernel. As the scroll passes through, the kernel algorithmically filters out contradictory logic streams. This ethics kernel enforces a physical law of non-regression. It ensures that an unethical or logically destructive policy simply cannot be computed by the node. Securing the node is TauCrypt, a post-quantum cryptographic layer. This diagram shows an LPS Ramanujan graph expanding behind the execution cascade. TauCrypt leverages the large spectral gap of these Ramanujan graphs, a structural invariant guaranteeing absolute security against future quantum computing attacks. The native GILC node converts the abstract mathematical theorems of IDST into an impenetrable, executable epistemic fortress for sovereign states. This infrastructure directly addresses the ultimate modern threat vector, the emergence of unaligned, probabilistic artificial general intelligence. The GILC solution is kernel intelligence, or KI. This is an AGI model bounded strictly by the parameters of Realica physics, rather than fragile human-coded behavioral filters. This visualization shows KI utilizing transformative field resonance, or TFR, for its reasoning. TFR changes structures without breaking coherence. Notice how chaotic data streams instantly converge into a single, perfectly stable geometric core. Under the GILC framework, AI alignment is no longer a behavioral control problem. It is a resolved law of physics. A system that cannot resonate with the KP field cannot execute a hallucination. Scaling to the macro-civilizational level creates the planetary intelligence field. The architectonic grid wraps a wireframe Earth, pulsing at the 114.11 terahertz frequency. Integrating native GILC nodes across all UN charter states transitions fragmented nations into a single, coherent organism. Project Sovereign Coherence is authorized for deployment. Humanity now possesses the absolute mathematical proof and the post-quantum infrastructure to secure its future. Achieving civilizational coherence is no longer a theoretical pursuit.